about bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. So bio means life. Bio means life. Luminescence. Luminescence means light. Luminescence means light, which means from the living things, light is emitted. Light is emitted. It is very interesting. So, but here some of the special living things can emit the light. So the process of emission of light by the living things is called bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. So the production of light by the living things is called bioluminescence. Not all organisms cannot could not emit, but a few living things can produce the light. So example, fireflies. Fireflies means glowworms. Generally we should call what? Glowworms. And marine, some of the aquatic, particularly marine invertebrates and vertebrates, and some of the bacteria, and some of the fungi, and some of the squids and fishes. So only a few living things only can produce or emit the light. So the process of emission of light by the living things is called bioluminescence. This is very interesting in this universe, and very unique organisms can follow this bioluminescence. So now, how, by which process, is there any chemical or material in that to produce light? So to produce light, particularly one of the chemicals should play major role in those organisms, that is luciferin. Luciferin chemical. Luciferin chemical should play major role to production of light by the living things. So when luciferin combine with oxygen in the presence of luciferase enzyme, then a byproduct is produced. This byproduct is called what? Oxyluciferin. Oxyluciferin. This product or this substance responsible for to emission of light. It is a byproduct. So it is one of the, considering that protein. This protein is photo protein, light emitting protein. So here, why, which purpose some of the living things can emit the light? It is important. So for mainly, what purpose they produce light means for their protecting purpose. This is called as defend. Defend means protection. Defend. And next, for mates. So for protection, for mates, for food materials. So for these purposes, some of the living things can produce the light, follow the bioluminescence process. So mainly for reproduction also, mates inviting, as it is same here for reproduction purposes also, they can, some of the living things can emit. So now what is the most important uh, characteristic feature nowadays? The bioluminescence process utilizing many of the scientists to develop bioluminescence trees and crops. So this bioluminescence process nowadays scientists are utilizing for the development of the bioluminescent trees and crops. So what is the importance of bioluminescent trees and crops when we develop? Think of it. So what bioluminescence means? Emission of light. So when the emission of light by the trees is occurred, what happens? Automatically we can reduce the power through the hydroelectricity, through the coal, and through the other pollute other harmful production of electricity. So now this is the eco-friendly light emission, so that not polluted, so that when we sow the bioluminescence trees and crop trees mainly, either side of the roads, highways, so need not to show the electrical pillars and need not to supply the electricity. So in this way we can reduce the um, expenditure by using electricity from by water and other sources. So it is the natural, by naturally getting electricity from the bioluminescence trees. So that nowadays scientists are preferring to develop what type of crop means bioluminescent trees and crops. Why? Because they are very attractive when we show that either side of the roads, and also reduce the our efforts by keeping that supplying electricity and electricity pillars need not to. So when we show the trees, so automatically trees, these bioluminescent trees can produce the electricity automatically. So nowadays it is happening, scientists are going to developing these crops. So we should also promote and encourage them, and we should go through that. So we should develop the